Most people trying to scale a 3D print farm are doing it completely wrong. Some people try to buy bigger printers. Some people try to buy mini printers. But I'm telling you right now, with this $80 upgrade, I turned my smallest printer into my most productive one. Let's get into it. Everyone says you outgrow your A1 Mini, but I'm not convinced. So today, we're upgrading Alphie, our A1 Mini, with the Plate Cycler C1M by Chitu Box. They sent this unit over to review to see if we can make Alphie feel like new again.
The unboxing here is really simple. Inside the box you get 3 main components that make up the unit, 4 build plates to get you started, and a handful of smaller hardware pieces for assembly. It's all really pretty straightforward. One thing I really like though, if one of the parts ever breaks, Chitu actually provides the file so you can 3D print your own replacement, and honestly, that's really cool. Alright, with everything out of the box, let's move on to assembling the unit. If this really isn't your cup of tea, feel free to jump ahead to the testing timestamps below, because what's waiting for you there is definitely shaken, not stirred. As far as assembly goes, setup was a breeze. I had to pause the instructions a couple times, but even while filming this video, I had everything assembled in about 15 minutes. Oh, and if you do get stuck, Chitu has an excellent setup video. I'll put that link right up here for you. So what this system is designed to do is pretty simple. Once a print finishes, the printer ejects the build plate and the plate cycler automatically feeds the next plate into position, so the printer can immediately start the next job. In theory, that means your printer can keep running without you having to stand here swapping plates. There is one thing I did notice during setup though. The real key to making sure this upgrade works smoothly is properly tightening the plate stack holder. As you add more plates to the stack, you may need to make small adjustments so everything feeds cleanly. The good news is it's not difficult at all. Once you get it dialed in, the system should be able to cycle the plates reliably and keep your printer moving from one job to the next.
So the first test that I did with the plate cycler was I wanted to test tolerances, because fidgets like these fruit fidgets, have really tight tolerances, and if anything shifts, they won't function properly. So let's take a look at the footage and see how it did.
So now it's just a matter of letting the machine do its thing. Each time a print finishes, the plate ejects, the next one feeds in, and the printer immediately starts the next job. Oh, and every time you hear that little cash register sound, that's another completed plate. But honestly, the real value here isn't just productivity, it's time. If the printer can keep working without me constantly standing here swapping plates, that's time I get back. Time I can spend designing new products, working on the business, or even more importantly, spending time with my family. And when you look at it from that perspective, an upgrade like this, it becomes pretty priceless. And now, by this point, some of you have probably spotted the one mistake in my first test. The shelf that A1 Mini, Alphie, is sitting on is not perfectly level. And let me tell you, when this system gets moving, it will absolutely remind you if your surface is not flat. I'm curious at what you all think so far. Is something like this an upgrade you consider for your setup? Let me know down in the comments. Now let's take a closer look at how this test is actually performing.
So after printing all these, minus the fruit stands themselves, I was feeling pretty confident that the plate cycler wasn't affecting tolerances. Everything was moving smoothly, just like it should. So the real question now isn't tolerances, it's production. Let's check that out. These are the Jellyfish clickers that we're printing for the upcoming art fair season in 2026. I'll put a link in the description and then the artist name up on the screen here. They print in 2 pieces. They print in the Jellyfish tops, which we printed over on the Plate Cycler C1M in 2 batches of 8 plates. And it took about 2.5 days to print them all. And then on the A1 series printer over here, we printed the tentacle legs. And 15 days later now, I'm still printing tentacle legs for these Jellyfish clickers because I got so many Jellyfish tops left. It's insane.
For this second test, I wanted to see if the plate cycler could handle batch part printing. The idea here is simple. Can a small printer like the A1 Mini work alongside my larger printers to produce small part batches without tying up the big printers? Hopefully by now, you're seeing what I really like about this setup. It lets smaller printers handle batch parts like this. Instead of tying up one of my larger machines with a plate full of small pieces, the A1 Mini can just keep cycling through jobs and quietly add them to the pile. So now that Alphie is starting to outpace some of my other printers, I've actually had to give him twice as many maintenance spa days. I guess that's the sacrifice you have to make when you have a really good employee.
So after all this testing, there's one question left to ask. Would I buy the Plate Cycler C1M? Absolutely. Being able to batch print like this and automate it all is a game changer for our studio. If I don't have to touch the printer, I can spend my time doing something else. And scaling a print farm isn't always about having the biggest machine or the most machines. It's about efficiency. So if you're interested in the Plate Cycler C1M, I'll put a link down in the description. And if you want to see how we're going to build out this print farm and optimize it over time, make sure you're subscribed. And until next time, be glorious.